Here from the UGA Tennis Archives Room, I'm Houston Gaines with John Isner. John and I last spoke in December, and many things have happened since, including an 11-hour, 5-minute match. Before we get to that match, let's first go back to a few goals and other things you mentioned last time we talked, all right? So, your goal in tennis at that point is to reach the top 20. Well, in just 6 months, you now rank 19, you've accomplished that goal. Do you have any new goals in tennis?
So one of my, obviously one of my goals was to get into the top 20. I'm there now at number 18, I believe. But, I also have to stay inside the top 20, because once you get there, you don't automatically stay there. So I have to keep doing well to stay in the top 20, and I feel like I will do that. And my next immediate goal is the top 10. I think that's attainable if I keep doing what I'm doing. I have the right team around me. If it doesn't happen this year, maybe next year. But the long-term goal is the top 10 for me.
All right. One of your other goals was to begin working on a charitable foundation by the end of this year. I know you've been really busy, but I'm wondering, have you had a chance to start it? If so, how's it going?
Yeah, actually, I'm doing one in conjunction with Sam Querrey. It's our first year. It's going to be in December. It's in the process now. We don't even have a name for it yet. We're trying to come up with a good name. But I know that he lives out in California. I'm from North Carolina. I think for this first year we're going to do it in California, and then the next year we're going to do it in North Carolina, and so forth and so on like that. So this year is going to be my first event for a charitable foundation, and I'm looking forward to it.
One other quick question from the last time we spoke. You said your favorite career victory was over Andy Roddick. Has that changed?
I actually don't think it has. Okay. It's still Andy, because I beat him in the third round of a Grand Slam, the U.S. Open, a tournament that he's won before, and it got me to my first ever round of 16 at a Grand Slam. Obviously, this last match I played was pretty historic, but it was a first round win. But I also think that's kind of what makes our match so cool, is that it wasn't a championship match. It was a first round match, and we were out there for 11 hours, and the goal, the reward was just simply one person got to go to the second round, and that was me, and I lost. But the match I played at Wimbledon is always going to stick with me. But I think for right now, my best career win is over Andy.
All right. Well, I was going to say that's a great lead into our next set of questions.
Yeah.
But you still stay with Andy Roddick, which is great. And that's obviously your favorite. But I do want to shift into your Wimbledon match, because that's what everybody seems to be talking about with you. So you played an 11-hour, 5-minute match against Frenchman Nicolas Mahut. You won 6-4, 3-6, 6-7, 7-6, 70-68. That's the longest match in tennis history. You were all over the nightly news, on David Letterman, all over ESPN, interviewed by CNN, on Good Morning America. How does it feel to be part of such history and to be part of a record that will probably never be broken?
It's really special, actually. You can't even go into a tournament. You can't think of a simple first round match to make history like our match did. But now that it did, I feel really, really honored to be a part of that match. I think Nicolas and I both showed incredible heart and really courage out there, and a lot of grit, and just neither one of us wanted to back down. And I was in the first round of a match. Like I said, it was the first round of a Grand Slam, but it went 11 hours and 5 minutes. That's never going to be broken, so nobody will ever be able to take that away from us.
Then have you been surprised by the reaction to the match with all, obviously you're everywhere.
Yeah.
Have you been surprised by that, or were you kind of expecting it after you came off the court for, obviously a ridiculous match? Yeah,
I actually was a little bit surprised. I figured I knew it was a big story in the tennis world. I didn't know it was that big of a story really just around the world. Even after I won it, I didn't think I was going to be on David Letterman or throwing out the first pitch of a Yankees game, which I got to do. But it's really cool. I'm glad that it caught on, over here in America. Even when the World Cup was going on. I think what's also really cool is that people that aren't tennis fans were kind of tuned into that match, and it really shined a positive light on the game of tennis.
Yeah, awesome. Have you really been able to sink in how huge this thing was yet, or is it still kind of every day it's something new? It's still taking it all in, or
No, I think now it's sunk in. Obviously during the course of the match and the couple days after, I really didn't have time to think about the match. But I know now that it's been, I guess, 2 weeks since we played, it finally has sunk in, and really I'm just ready to put it behind me, and looking forward to my next event and the following events after that, and ultimately the U.S. Open.
All right. Now let's talk a little about the actual match. At 59-59, when they pulled you off on the second day, Nicholas Mahou seemed to be fresher than you, yet you wanted to continue, and he actually wanted to stop.
Yeah.
What made you want to continue, and really what gave you the will to go as far? I mean, you went 11 hours and 5 minutes. What gave you the will to do that?
I mean, I think for one, I've worked hard enough that I'm physically fit enough to be able to withstand an 11-hour match, and I think also we got out there when the match just kept dragging on and on and on. We were both really, really tired, but no one wanted to back down. We knew we were kind of involved in a historic match, and I didn't want to be the person that came out on the losing end of it. But unfortunately, I wasn't. So I just didn't want to back down. I knew I was a good competitor going into that match, and I think I showed that out there.
All right. Now then, after that second day, coming on to the court the third day, how long did you realistically think the thing was going to go on for?
I knew we were going to actually have a winner on the third day, because we were both gassed.
Yeah.
Even obviously from the previous 2 days. We were still serving so well. What we did on that second day was just kind of freakish. It's never going to happen again. We were both serving so well and hitting winners at will. Really, it was just kind of crazy. But I knew eventually that our match wasn't going to go into a fourth day, and fortunately it didn't. I think we ended up playing 20 games or something like that, whatever it was, and finally got found a winner.
All right, now then each day coming into the match, did you prepare as though each was a whole new match? I mean, obviously the second day, you had no idea it was going to go 7 hours in that last set.
Yeah.
Or did you prepare going into the second day, I'm just playing a set? And then the third day, you were supposed to finish a set that was already at 59-59.
Yeah.
So how did you prepare differently each day, or the same? Or
No, and I think, after our match got suspended, we were tied two sets all. And I just prepared myself for a one-set match. Obviously you can't think that we would, play, 118 games that we played.
Yeah.
I prepared myself for one-set match. I ate enough food to kind of tide me over for, at most 2 hours. But the match just kept going on and on. And luckily I had bars and bananas and nutrition drinks in my bag. But that was one of the really, really tough things. So you had to just kind of change your approach when the match got to 20 all, 25 all.
Mm-hmm. During the match, was it harder to stay in the match physically with physical condition, or was it harder mentally as far as maintaining your mental focus and why?
I think they were both about equal. And if I had to say one, I would say mentally. Obviously we were both physically exhausted out there, and our bodies were kind of giving out on us. But mentally, it was also really, really, really tough to just kind of hang in there, because if you slipped up one little bit, the match was over. So we had to keep our focus. I think that our set lasted 8 hours or something, what it was, the fifth set, and the day we didn't finish it lasted 7 hours. So we had to stay strong mentally throughout the whole course of that last set, and that was really, really tough.
All right. When y'all were holding back and forth, was there much strategy involved? Like, would you conserve energy while he was serving in order to maintain your hold, or were you constantly trying? I mean, obviously you didn't have much energy as it was, but were you using every bit of energy every time to try and break him?
Yeah, I was actually I think both of us were conserving our energy on our service games. So that's really what dictated the match. If you slipped up on your service game, the match was over. So we're both just kind of not holding back on our return. We're both trying to take a lot of chances on our return and keep them short points. Simply because we wanted to have energy in our next service game.